As we approach episode 192, the air is thick with anticipation, as it always is. We aren't here to spoil what might happen, but to analyze the potential ramifications should such a turning point occur. If, for instance, a character who embodies a certain ideology or represents a specific alliance were to meet their end, what could that signify for the larger geopolitical landscape? Could it mean the fracturing of a hard-won peace, or conversely, the unexpected unification of previously warring factions? Sometimes, the removal of one piece from the board allows for entirely new strategies to unfold. Might we see Osman Bey forced to reconsider who his true allies are, or perhaps confront a vulnerability within his own camp that was previously unexposed? The nature of death in Kuruluş Osman is multifaceted. There are the heroic sacrifices, those moments where a character lays down their life for a greater cause, for the tribe, for the dream of a state, for their faith. These deaths often serve to galvanize the remaining characters, to imbue them with a renewed sense of purpose. Think about the vows made over fresh graves, the promises of vengeance, or the commitment to see a fallen comrade's dream to fruition. If such a death were to occur around the time of episode 192, whose resolve do you think it would strengthen the most, and how might that manifest in their actions? Could it push a more hesitant character into a leadership role, or perhaps drive Osman to make a bold, game-changing decision? Then there are the deaths born of betrayal. These are perhaps the most painful and often lead to the most intricate and emotionally charged storylines. When a character is struck down by someone they trusted, it doesn't just remove them from the narrative, it plants seeds of doubt, paranoia, and a thirst for justice that can consume individuals and even entire communities. If the narrative were to explore such a loss, what kind of internal conflicts might it create within the K? Could it lead to a period of intense suspicion where everyone is looking over their shoulder? And how might Osman Bey navigate the delicate balance of maintaining unity while rooting out a hidden enemy? These are the kinds of questions that keep us on the edge of our seats. We'd love to hear your theories on how the theme of betrayal, if it leads to a character's demise, could reshape the upcoming storyline. Consider also the vacuum of power that a significant death inevitably creates. In a world where strength and influence are paramount, the removal of a powerful bey, a cunning Byzantine commander, or a manipulative political player immediately sets off a scramble. Who steps in to fill the void? Is it an expected successor, or does it open the door for an underdog, or even a new antagonist to rise? The repercussions of such a power shift can be felt for many episodes to come, fundamentally altering the challenges Osman faces. If episode 192 or its surrounding narrative were to feature such a development, which existing character do you think is poised to gain the most from such a shift, or what new kind of threat might emerge as a result? Furthermore, how does the emotional toll of these deaths shape the characters, particularly Osman Bey? Each loss chips away at him, yet also seems to forge him anew, hardening his resolve, perhaps making him warier, but also deepening his understanding of the sacrifices required for his great cause. The death of a loved one, a loyal alp, or even a respected enemy forces introspection. Could we see a period where Osman questions his path, his methods, or the price of his ambitions following a significant loss? Or does every death simply reinforce his conviction that a new order, a just state, is worth any sacrifice? This internal struggle is central to his character. How do you think the writers will continue to explore this aspect of Osman's development in light of future events? The timing of a death is also crucial. A death at the beginning of a new conflict can set the stakes incredibly high. A death in the midst of a seemingly triumphant moment can serve as a stark reminder that victory is never secure. A death that concludes a long-standing feud can offer a sense of closure, but also leave characters and viewers wondering what comes next. As we look towards episode 192, what kind of timing would make a potential death most impactful, and what kind of narrative purpose would it serve? Would it be a cliffhanger leading to a new arc, or the culmination of a storyline that has been building for some time? Let's not forget the villains. The demise of an antagonist is often a moment of triumph, but in Kuruluş Osman it's rarely that simple. Sometimes defeating one enemy merely awakens another, or reveals that the true power lay elsewhere all along. Could the fall of one foe inadvertently strengthen another, or create a power vacuum that a more dangerous entity is eager to fill? It's a complex web of cause and effect. The victory of a villain's death often comes with a new set of problems. What are your thoughts on how the show handles the fall of its antagonists and what new challenges typically arise? Ultimately, every death in Kuruluş Osman propels the story forward, adding layers of complexity, emotional depth, and new challenges for our protagonists. They serve as reminders of the fragility of life in a brutal era but also of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of a dream. As we anticipate episode 192, it's not about wishing for any character's demise, but about understanding how such an event, were it to happen, could fundamentally alter the course of this grand historical drama. It's about asking those what-if questions. What if a seemingly untouchable character is proven vulnerable? What if a long-lost secret dies with someone, or conversely, what if a death unearths a truth that changes everything? The possibilities are endless, and that is what makes this series so compelling. What kind of narrative shift, triggered by a hypothetical death, would you find most intriguing to explore in the episodes to come? Join the discussion in the comments. We're eager to read your insights and theories. Okay, let's delve into the intricate world of Kuruluş Osman and explore the potential ramifications of recent and upcoming events, particularly focusing on how certain departures might irrevocably alter the narrative landscape as we approach the 192nd episode. The title of our discussion is Every Death in Kuruluş Osman That Changed the Story, and as always, we aim to analyze, to question, and to understand the profound shifts these moments can trigger, all without spoiling the exact details of what's yet to unfold. The series has consistently shown that the fall of a significant character, whether friend or foe, is rarely just an ending. It's often the violent birth of a new chapter, a new set of challenges, or a crucial turning point in Osman Bey's arduous journey towards establishing a state. As we look towards episode 192, the stage seems set for some significant tremors. We've heard whispers and seen events unfold that suggest the removal of certain antagonists. For instance, the long-standing adversaries like Kuruluş and Gladius have been major thorns in Osman Bey's side. Their defeat, which seems to have either just happened or is imminent, isn't merely a victory notch on Osman Bey's sword. Could the fall of Kuruluş, a figure who represented a persistent and insidious Mongol threat, truly signal a weakening of the Mongol pressure, or is it a feint? Perhaps his removal only serves to clear the path for an even more formidable Mongol leader, such as the much-discussed Al-Qaeda Han. Does this mean Osman Bey will have to recalibrate his entire strategy concerning the Ilkhanate? It's a critical question. Think about it. When a commander of Kuruluş's cunning is eliminated, it leaves a power vacuum. Will this vacuum be filled by someone predictable, or will a new, unknown player emerge from the shadows, bringing with them fresh dangers? What are your theories on how Kuruluş's absence will reshape the Mongol front? Do you foresee a brief respite for Osman Bey, or will this merely accelerate the arrival of a larger, more organized Mongol force? We invite you to share your predictions in the comments section below. Then there's the Byzantine front, which is perpetually simmering. The apparent demise of Gladius, who has been a significant Byzantine operative, could send ripples through the emperor's court and his strategies in Anatolia. Was Gladius acting alone in his recent schemes, or was he merely the tip of the spear? His removal might disrupt specific Byzantine plots, certainly, but could it also lead to a more aggressive, or perhaps a more cunning, approach from Constantinople? Osman Bey is currently making bold moves, even venturing to his nick for discussions with the emperor. Does the elimination of a key hostile agent like Gladius strengthen Osman Bey's diplomatic hand, or will it provoke a backlash, a desire for vengeance from factions within the Byzantine power structure? It makes one wonder, doesn't it, if the emperor will see this as an opportunity to reassess and send a more formidable adversary, or perhaps even consider a different kind of political maneuvering. How do you think the Byzantine Empire will respond to these losses in the field? Beyond the major antagonists, the fate of characters closer to Osman Bey always carries immense weight. There have been some concerning murmurs regarding Surkhatay. Now, Surkhatay has been a beloved figure. His journey from a fierce enemy to a loyal Alp has been a testament to the transformative power of Osman Bey's cause and his own search for belonging. If, and this is purely speculative at this stage, someone like Surkhatay were to fall, what would that mean for the Kei? It wouldn't just be the loss of a valiant warrior. It would be a blow to morale, a deeply personal loss for many, especially his close companions like Baran Alp. How would such an event reshape the dynamics within the Alps? Could it galvanize them further, or would it sow seeds of despair or reckless vengeance? The death of a loyalist, a brother in arms, often serves to highlight the true cost of the struggle, reminding everyone of the sacrifices entailed in building a new order. This makes us ponder the immense emotional and strategic impact such a loss could have. If you think back to other significant losses within Osman Bey's camp throughout the series, how did those moments change the tone and direction of the narrative? We also see Bala Hatun taking increasingly assertive roles, not just in providing spiritual guidance but also in executing crucial plans, such as the recent capture of Begum Hatun. This is a reminder that the women of the Kei are not passive observers but active participants in this destiny. Begum Hatun's capture is significant. What will her fate be, and how will it influence the internal politics and the simmering resentments that often threaten to derail Osman Bey's progress from within? A misstep here could ignite fresh conflicts. Bala Hatun's wisdom will be crucial. Do you believe Begum Hatun can be redeemed, or is her enmity too deep-seated? The resolution of her storyline, whether through permanent removal or some other means, will undoubtedly set a precedent. Osman Bey himself is on the cusp of a new grand campaign. He is firing up the spirit of conquest, preparing for new battles and new futuhat. Every strategic decision, every alliance, and every enemy he overcomes or makes is a building block for the future state. The deaths that occur now as he takes these momentous steps will directly influence the foundations of this nascent state. For instance, if a traitor is unmasked and executed, it sends a clear message about justice and the intolerance of deceit. If a formidable enemy commander is slain, it can open up territories for conquest or demoralize opposing forces. Consider Turgut Alp's return. His presence adds immense strength, but the threats are also escalating. How will the current and potential deaths influence Turgut Bey's role and the strategies he brings from his experiences in distant lands? Will these events force him to adapt his own methods or offer Osman Bey new perspectives on leadership and warfare? The theme of sacrifice is central to Kuruluş Osman. The establishment of a just order, a state that will endure for centuries, demands immense sacrifices. When a character dies, especially one who has played a significant role, it forces us, the viewers, and the characters within the show to confront the price of their ideals. Does the death of an antagonist bring a sense of justice, or does it merely pave the way for more conflict? Does the death of a hero inspire others to take up their mantle, or does it serve as a grim warning? As we approach episode 192, it feels like several plot threads are converging, and the outcomes will likely involve some profound losses that will, true to the show's form, change the story in significant ways. It's not just about who lives and who dies, but about the legacy these moments leave behind and the new paths they forge. What kind of shifts are you anticipating in the power dynamics of the region following these events? Do you think we are about to witness a major strategic realignment for Osman Bey and his adversaries? Please share your detailed thoughts and analyses in the comments. Let's discuss the future of the Kei and the nascent Ottoman state.